What is up, my friends? Back with another video today, and I wanted to talk about something that is probably going to turn into like a little bit of a rant, but it was something that I thought was super important to make a video about. Right now I'm kind of in this thing where I'm making videos about more of getting you guys the motivation to go out there and create things rather than like specific tutorials. This channel, man, I don't even really know what I make videos on when I sit down to do it. They're not pre-planned. I really just be like, I get a feeling like, hey, I want to create something, so I just turn on the camera and I just start talking. So right now I'm kind of on this kick where I want to help you guys to get out there and do the things that are going to make your work better rather than, like talking about specific like pieces of technical gear or like, technical tutorials or things like that, where I know that a lot of you guys have been asking for that stuff, but then there's a lot of people on the other side that have been asking for, more of the motivational stuff. To tell you the truth, guys, I just go with how I feel and what I'm thinking, and sometimes videos go one way, sometimes they go in another way, but I'm not about like tailoring this channel for like certain things. I really just spit from the heart, and I just make videos on what I'm thinking about talking about pretty much that day. So today I wanted to talk about something that I keep seeing pop up in a Facebook group called the Rising Tide Society. I don't know if you guys follow that, but basically it's a Facebook group, pretty damn big, of just like different creative artists and like business owners, and they all get together and they talk about questions and different things and kind of ask other group members for help. And there's a ton of photographers on it. I mean, it's kind of dominated by photographers, and I'm a member of it, but I never really participate. I just watch some of the stuff that comes across my feed, and I wanted to talk about the stuff that I see. Probably 95% of the topics that are posted and questions that come across my feed are about, should I do this with my camera brand? Should I switch from Canon to Nikon? Should I go from Sony to Nikon? Should I go to Sony? What about these lenses? These colors, are they as good as these ones? How do I get my style to look like this? It's all about fucking gear, all of it. And it's so crazy to me that is what I see the majority of posts come through that feed as. I mean, I never ever see questions like, hey, how do I create more emotional images? Where does emotion come from? How do I connect with it? How do I create depth in my images? What about storytelling? How do I create stories with my images? How do I create gripping images? How do I create something that is more dramatic? Or how do I create something that is, showing movement, or something that's showing, just different ways to create good photos, rather than everybody focusing on what thing is going to make my photography better. And I'm just so, on one hand, honestly guys, this is like a huge opportunity for anybody who's really focused on the true essence of photography to really make a name for themselves and step out of the crowd, out of the thousands and thousands of people who have picked up a camera recently. It's so easy to step out of that whole mass of people now, because everybody is focused on the gear. The debates about Nikon and Canon and Sony and Fuji and which one's better and should I get this versus should I get that, it's all bullshit, and it's all feeding on your insecurity as a photographer and as a creator. It's creating a insecurity inside you because you're thinking that I need this to be better. In reality, you don't need anything to be a better photographer other than getting off your ass and going out there and shooting more photos and learning how to connect with people and learning how to bring the best out of the situation that you're photographing, whether it's animals, whether it's landscapes, whether it's people, whether it's weddings, whether it's portraits, kids, whatever. It doesn't matter about what you have. The best camera is the one that you have in your hand. And I know that that's kind of cliche and people have said that before, but it's fucking true, 100%. I mean, anybody who cares about what somebody else is shooting with and thinking that that makes them as a photographer is just a failure. I mean, it has nothing to do with the actual photographer when you get to a high level of creation. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. I mean, do you think that like Ansel Adams, if he came back from the grave right now or came back to life and he was going to shop for a camera, do you think that he would get inside the debates of like, you know, oh, you're not as good as because you use this or that, is like, doesn't make you a good photographer? What he would do is he'd go to his local camera store and he'd say, hey, how do these new cameras work? Give me something that autofocuses. Give me something that has a, you know, a hot shoe on it, or give me something that's portable and feels good in my hand, and see you later. I'm going out to the mountains to create some epic photos. That's it. People who are actually going out there and they're creating real work that's worth anything are not caught up in these debates of which brands are better or getting hung up on technical specs of stupid cameras. It's just so dumb. Like, the reason why I shoot with the Nikon Z6 is because I love it in my hand. It feels good in my hand. I could take that thing and I could close my eyes and I could flip through the camera settings. I know that thing like the back of my hand. It feels perfect to me, and I know it's, you know, it's gonna last. It's a rugged piece of equipment. That's why I love it. You know, give me something, honestly, give me something that autofocuses, give me something with a hot shoe that I can put a wireless flash trigger on, and give me something that has good build quality and feels good in my hand, and see you later. I'm out. I'm going to create photos. You know, guys, I just feel like every once in a while I need to make these videos to realign everybody. You guys might fucking shut this thing off and think I'm ranting or think what I'm saying is stupid. I don't really care, because I know that there's going to be people out there that connect with this and understand what I'm saying. Stay away from the debates about all that stuff. Don't get caught up in it. It's wasting time. Every second that you're on YouTube watching this versus that versus this versus that and getting caught up in the bullshit little debates about things is less time that you're out there going to perfect your craft and making images that are going to stand the test of time and making yourself better as a photographer. It's very easy to stand out nowadays. All you have to do to create work that's different is to be yourself. Just be yourself. Go out there and shoot. Follow what is inside you, the things that make you, you know, passionate and inspired about photography, and you will stand away from everybody else. It's not going to be this new Sony A9 Mark II that's going to make you the better photographer. It's not going to be the Z8 that's going to make you a better photographer. It's all about what is going to be the easiest for you to go out there and create the images, but then focus on the stuff that makes you different, which is the stuff that you're attracted to yourself. So like the last time that I really needed like a creativity boost or something that, you know, to get out there and really just like start to stir up that creative energy inside me, what I did was I took my camera and I went out and I started photographing portraits of homeless people. And not just like standing far away with like a zoom lens. I actually went up, talked to the people, introduced myself, got a little bit of their story, actually talked to them, and then asked them if I could take their portraits. And let me tell you something. That stirred up. So I was able to ride that creative boost for like a year. Just because I went out there and I pushed myself to go out and connect with people, to actually talk to them, to create a connection. That is what it's about. It's about a connection between you and the person or thing that you're photographing. And the way that you do that is to go out and push your boundaries. Pick up your camera, whatever it is, if it's a point and shoot or it's a, you know, the new D6, I don't care. Whatever it is, go out there and push yourself to connect. And that's a great way to do it. If you guys are in the business of photographing people, go out there, talk to some homeless people. They're just people, you know? I mean, unless they have like mental illness or something, then you might want to, you know, whatever, keep it moving to the next person. But a lot of them just, they're happy to talk to you. And those portraits that I made just talking to them were some of the best, most gratifying photos that I have ever done in my career, and it boosted my creativity for like, I was riding that high for like a year. I had so many ideas coming out of me all over the place just because I created that connection. I don't even know what I just said there. Hopefully it made sense, and hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Just stay away from the debates, guys. Anybody who's in that whole debating back and forth, oh, this person uses that camera, so they suck, or this or that, it's a waste of time, and I'm telling you, none of them are creating good images. None of them. They're just all from the crowd. They're not in the arena. They're not really creating work that's pushing boundaries and is dynamic. So I hope this helped you guys. Let me know what you think. Drop in the comments. You know, any feedback on stuff like this, I always appreciate it. Until the next video, guys.